Yeah. We have to log in. They need to sign. Yeah, you gotta sign in.
What did I have? Already? Wait, no, it's here. It's here. It's already here.
Kapatid Latino! Good evening. Buenas noches, parents and guardians. Welcome to our first Parent Literacy Night for school year 24-25. We do have plans to have a second one, but this will be the first one. So thank you for making the time to join us this evening. And it is an important gathering because it is a way that you will learn things about what's happening in the school and how you can get, your child being much more successful in school. There are 3 topics that we will cover tonight. It's called the ABCs for school success. And the first one is the academics. The second one is attendance. And the third one is behavior. As we go through the pretty much the presentation for this evening, you will learn what are those elements. And they are very critical things that we needed you to know so that you can help us ensure the success of your children here at school or your child. So, in addressing all these academic.
All right, buenas noches. Thank you all for coming. And the kindergarten first, may I ask the kindergarten first to just stand up so our parents here will know who are the presenters for the academic part. There we have the beautiful ladies over there. And there's one over here, and Mrs. Welch as well. All right, thank you all for coming. And we are going to be doing the academic part. Okay, so this is our objective. Let's all read it together, please. Ready? To showcase the English language arts, ELA, and math apps using Clever, parents will learn different apps to support their children's growth in both areas at home. So the 2 areas are both reading and math. So what I'm going to do is just to share what we have in our Clever. We have the mandated curriculum, which is the HMH, and we also have the supplemental. So I want to share some supplementals and mandated. So here, the first one is IXL. We have both for reading and math, and it covers for kindergarten first.
So IXL is the learning website that kids love. It goes from K to 12. One reason why IXL is a good thing to use for the student is because it doesn't limit them to their grade level activities. So we have kids that are performing above grade level, so they are able to access grade levels kinder all the way to 12th grade. We also have kids that might need extra support, so they can go down and do other activities that might be not on their grade level. So the kinder teach, yes. Yes. IXL is something that they actually can do at home. They can even use, I've tried using it on a smartphone. So you are free to, you can go to learning. If you have the iPad open in front of you. You can go to learning and you can choose what subject you would like to look at. And you can actually choose skills. Let's say you have a 3rd grader who is maybe still confused about multiplication. So they can do questions. So that is how it access. So I will try 3rd grade math. Let's say multiplication. So here's what the question looks like. For lower grade, let me see lower grade. grades problems. For lower grade students, it's a good thing because the questions are actually being read to the students. So it's something that helps them to do the work independently and they don't have to rely on somebody to read the question to them. So like this month,
Read the story. There are 6 seahorses. Then 2 seahorses swim away. Subtract to find how many seahorses stay.
also on the side, especially if they're using their iPad, it actually has built-in, say, scratch paper that they can use to do the counting. Let's say the students still need to draw numbers or tally marks, so they can actually use that too. And it also has games for them. Here are some of the games that they can do on math. Yes.
Alright, thank you, kinder and first grade team for the academic part. And so second and third grade team is in charge to share some strategies about the attendance. Second grade team, Ms. Salon is in charge of distributing the flyers that we have that you can use at home to practice how would we help our kids with the attendance. Good evening, parents.
Welcome. So again, like Ms. Tudam said, we're going to be talking about the attendance. Why does it matter? Okay, for one, you guys look up look here, the photos here shows that as early as preschool, students start building the skills they need to develop the habit for showing up on time. And then as they progress through the school years in elementary, they start, they continue that routine, they continue that, and then they also they learn necessary skills when they come to school. They come to school, they start learning the basic skills that they need to learn for math and the foundation skills that they need to know for reading and writing. And those are very important skills, and because by the time they get to third grade, they need to be already really independent. So if they miss a lot of the classes, they start to, data has shown that it has caused the students to struggle to catch up. They miss those skills that they need to move up. So they also need to be in school because it also builds their social skills that they need. They learn to work with others and their skills that help build on good teamwork and collaboration, which they start from the very beginning all the way till they start learning. So, we're all working, right? And we know that we have to get up on time, we have to get to work on time. And if we start our students early, and develop those good habits to show that, getting up on time and getting to school and that, carrying on all the way through their, to become successful in their jobs in the future. And that also plays into the academics and building the skills they need to read, write, and do math, easy math computations, which they need also for a successful, when they grow up and they become workers and become successful. It's very important, and like I said, data really shows that if they do struggle, and we need to get them here. And I understand that sometimes we get sick, and other concerns come up, like family matters, medical stuff. But please let us know. Call us. If you have the teacher, your child's teacher's number, let them know. Let us know. Call the office. Let us know. Let them know, and they're very good at letting the teachers know. So those are the things that we can do. And please follow the school protocol. If anything should come up, 3 or more absences, we need a doctor's note to continue that excused absences. Anything that if you don't call, we don't know, it's considered unexcused. So, and there will be, not only are the consequences where your child may begin to struggle because they missed so much past days, but there are other consequences that the rest of my team will be talking about along the way. So, yes, thank you. And like it says in the bottom, every school day counts for your child's future. Start them early so they can be successful as adults. Thank you.
So for my slide, I'm going to talk about just how our children can be succeed at school by building those good attendance habits. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and talk about some facts, key points. So when children miss too many absences in the early school years, like let's say kindergarten or preschool, it can cause children to fall behind in school. So when they miss about 10% of a school year, it can really make it harder for our children to learn how to read. And it's really important that we emphasize attending school every day to our children because, it's a skill that will help them succeed in the future, especially in middle school and high school and in their career. So what can we do, right? What can we do to help our children build good attendance? So first of all, we want to set a regular bedtime. So maybe they have devices at home, and maybe we could go ahead and take it away at night, maybe before 8 o'clock or 9 p.m. And then that could be on the weekdays, so Monday to Friday, and then maybe we can explain to them, okay, you can, tomorrow's Saturday, tomorrow it's Friday night, it's not a school night, so, it could be kind of like a reward for them. And we want to make sure that we're consistent with that. We also want to set maybe a morning routine for them, so you can have them pick out their clothes the night before, and then lay them out in for the smooth transition in the morning. And then we can also develop a backup plan for getting to school, because things happen right early in the morning. Your work is calling you. Something happens, emergency happens. So maybe you want to have those extended family members. It can even be your neighbor. So just have that backup plan. And lastly, if children are feeling anxious,
absent. Just so you know, 3 unexcused absences. You notice that you are receiving an excessive absences form that sometimes you actually sign and we collect it as teachers, because we monitor how many attendance absences with your child. So this is something that you have to make sure, because it shows with our communication log that goes with our EWS tracking. So 3 unexcused absences, we have to send out the excessive absences form. Another thing that you have to take note, if a student has 6 unexcused absences, again, we take note of that in our communication log, we document it. How do we do that? We send out, if not during our parent conference, we send out those excessive absences to monitor how many absences your child has. Okay? Then here's the tip, the very important, 10 unexcused absences. You don't wanna go to this part, because we actually communicate this and have this, the SART notice. When we talk about the SART, it's actually the School Attendance Review Committee. Very important, because we send out with your value data and attendance record, we'll send out to SART. Of course, the teacher has to communicate that to the principal, to the counselor, and then if the teacher didn't do anything anymore and then still continue with the absences, definitely we need help from the SART committee. And those are, they're definitely help the teachers or the school to monitor the attendance with that. Here's the best part. 20 unexcused absences. This is the actions that we do every time we send out the excessive absences form. We have our copy, and we want those excessive absences form back with signature. The reason why, because the notice of absences forms are considered invalid, okay? If distributed with incomplete signatures. That's why we apologize, parents, if we keep calling to return those excessive absences form with your signature. That it shows that we truly communicate to you the absences of your child. Okay? So that is very important. Here's the CNMI PSS board attendance policy that if a student with 25 or more school days absences per year will not be promoted on the next level, because it says that 605.4 states any repeated truancy shall be reported to the Division of Youth Services. Please, parents, we need your help. Send your kids every day at school to avoid this, especially once you receive the SART notice, and definitely our counselor will communicate to you about it. And this Friday, we are having our second quarter mid-progress report. You will be receiving again this excessive form. Please sign it and return it back to us. This is just a way to communicate and to remind you that truly attendance is very important. As my colleague mentioned earlier, once the student is absent for so many days, they get so left behind, and of course it affects the academic, and then here you go with the academic, behavior becomes a problem.
Okay, that part. So now that we've discussed why attendance matters, right? And you see how heavily we monitor it and all the policies surrounding it. So now we're going to quickly discuss some strategies on how we can improve our attendance and maintain good attendance at school, okay? So, going back to the parent communication goal book that you receive every quarter, in there you're going to see the attendance goals, the quarterly attendance goals. So every quarter, the goal is to have 0 to 1 absence within the quarter. Okay? The end of the year attendance goal is to have 0 to 5 total absences for all 4 quarters. Okay, so how do we achieve these attendance goals? Well, in the goal book, you're going to see that we did provide a list of strategies that you can choose from to help you support your child with their attendance. Okay, so that's what you see on the screen right now, but I'm going to quickly go over those strategies. So, Ms. Talon right now, she's passing out this wonderful resource that you can take home with you, and it's really informative, very helpful, because it does provide you with 10 strategies, 10 ways on how you can improve your child's school attendance. So in a nutshell, some of the strategies would be to establish, and Ms. Paji mentioned this earlier, so to establish a consistent morning and bedtime routine. So again, that's like making sure your child is prepared, right? You prepare their backpacks, their lunch, their outfits, making sure they get enough rest, enough sleep, and even using a family calendar, like the parent bulletins that's sent out to you every month. You can use that to track the school days and the events and the activities that's going on, so that you're aligned with the attendance expectations, right? Even promoting the importance of school to your child, so having a positive attitude, right? Talking about the benefits of school and what we learned earlier about how regular attendance leads to success, helping them to achieve goals and to understand how showing up to school daily supports their academic and their social development. And lastly, proactively addressing barriers. So one of it is definitely health, right? So trying your best to schedule doctor's appointments outside of school hours, but also prioritizing good hygiene and nutrition to prevent illnesses. Transportation can also be a barrier, so ensuring that your child has reliable transportation to get to school and from school, and even just maintaining an open communication with the school. Number one, please communicate. Please communicate with us. As Daniel was mentioned earlier, calling the office. We have our wonderful admin staff at the office that's ready to answer your calls anytime to address any challenges that might discourage attendance. Okay? So again, you have this resource that you can always use as your guide to help you and your child achieve those attendance goals. Thank you. I'm sorry, this is in regards with the engaged parents, and I want you to collaborate with us. So if you have your phone right now, this is the Padlet. I want you to scan the code, and you can use the flyers that was distributed to you. I want you to answer these questions in a form of an image, in a form of a sentence, in a form of a word. It's up to you. I want you to be creative. What strategies do you use to help your child maintain good attendance at school? Go ahead, please scan it. Just so you guys know, teachers, parents, students, it's definitely, this is one thing that we are going to work on this one. The homeschool partnership. We need your help so that our kids, your children, will be successful what they're learning. The home, better together with the school. If you do have some questions as well when it comes to attendance, feel free to write it down.
So welcome to our parent literacy night, and 4th and 5th grade are assigned behavior. Okay, so you're going to be working with us. What is our behavior goal? So the EWS status for behavior office referrals. Our students must have mentioned this with what we have in the classroom. Okay, we have misbehavior that can indicate that a student is disengaged with the school environment, challenging school personnel to create ways to reignite interest in school or the student. Outside influences such as homelessness, working jobs, abuse or neglect in the home, drug abuse, mental health issues, and bullying should be considered when determining causal factors for behavior issues. Suspensions can make it difficult for a student to catch up on the material missed. So this is what we have here at the classroom managed behavior, meaning as a teacher we go through with the 4 R's of progressive discipline, which are reminder, reprimand, referral, removal. Okay? So these are what the teacher manages in the classroom to continue the learning process in the classroom. Okay? And we go through this every day. So every day is a new slate. Clean up, and then we start all over again. Okay? Now here are the office managed behavior, meaning as a teacher, we immediately send students to the office for any of these infractions. The biggest issue we are seeing as a school is bullying. But do we understand what bullying is? Okay. So, what is the difference between bullying and teasing or being mean? The 3 main identifiers of a bullying situation are these. That is it done intentionally by someone with some type of power or influence? It is repeated or happens over a period of time. So, students we see this every day where sometimes we think it's teasing to the other child, it's bullying, right? So bullying can happen anywhere. It's intentional, power or influence, repeated intimidation. Teasing can include an argument or fight between friends, good-natured, playful, equal, not repeated, and they will stop. Okay? When it continues, then it becomes bullying. So is it bullying? When someone says or does something intentionally hurtful and they do it once, that's just being mean. Okay? So those are your keywords. Intentionally, they keep doing it, and then you tell them to stop or show them you're upset, and it's bullying. Okay, is it bullying, mean, or being mean, conflict? Okay, so we have a scenario, right? Two kids wait for you after school and make fun of you as you walk home most afternoons. So do you guys see that as teasing, being mean, conflict, or bullying? Okay, next. The student who sits next to you breaks your pencil, so you throw his or her books on the floor. What kind of scenario is this? Conflict. Okay, so sometimes we need, sometimes we have to teach our students, our children, conflict resolution, right? They try to solve problems, and so that it doesn't stop the learning process in the classroom.
It's always beautiful to see parents come out on a busy night or, on weeknights. So, thank you for coming out. I wanted to say, well, that was a lot of information. I hope very good information. That's just the first part. We have another part coming, second part of parent meeting tonight, and we will learn more, right? But before, okay, I need to speak fast. Okay, I wanted to thank everyone. Thank you to our hardworking Blue Marlin staff for their hard work and also their support, for always supporting our school mission in nurturing and enriching our learning environment. So thank you, Blue Marlin, for always supporting us. But success wouldn't be possible without your partnership. So thank you, parents. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Your partnership, your dedication, and your presence tonight just shows how much you are dedicated to your child's success. So thank you for that partnership. Before you go tonight, on the table and also on the next slide is the evaluation for tonight. Please do complete it. It's a short one, but we want to know your feedback, right? We want to know what would you like more, what would you like to see more on parent ladies tonight. In addition to our own Hammond Elementary evaluation, thank you, Ms. Justice, our PTSA Secretary. Oh yes, and our PTSA Vice President, Ms. Grace McAtee, right here. Thank you for coming out tonight. Oh, so in addition to our Hammond Elementary evaluation, Ms. Justice is passing out the PSS Parent Survey, and they would also like your feedback about parent engagement. So please do take time to fill out the evaluation form. If you didn't sign in, the sign-in code are still on the table. It's on both ends. Hard questions? Okay. All right, so thank you again for coming out tonight. Before we end, can we say a good job cheer? So, yes. We will also be giving out a special parent gift. It's a stationery set. Okay. So for coming out tonight, we thank you, Mr. Gibb, for your stationery gift, and also we have refreshments and rather more refreshments for tonight.
We already mentioned about giving the great job cheer, and this is what also our students do for every great things that happen here at school. So we wanted to teach you as well. Okay, let's do the great job cheer. On the count of 3, you follow me. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Good. Thank you, parents, again. We love you. Please continue to come to school and help support our kids. Si Diyos masik. Apa itu? Oh, si Diyos masik. I wanted to say this, but this will be my last school year here at Carmen Elementary. I'm being shifted. They shift us. So I will be at San Vicente Elementary School. It's a sad thing, but there's a parent here that wants to fight it. Okay, so, I still think that I can still help the school. Of course, I'm already old, but I can do a lot of things, just like you. Let's help our children. So, buenas noches, dan si Diyos masik. Thank you very much.